Something major just shifted in Europe's defense landscape, and it could change the war in Ukraine. For the first time, a NATO member, Sweden, the alliance's newest entrant, has offered to sell Ukraine up to 150 Saab Gripen-E fighter jets, among the most advanced in the world. 150 jets, not symbolic aid, a move that could triple Ukraine's air fleet. The agreement signed by President Zelensky and Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson is not a finalized arms deal yet, but a letter of understanding, a framework for what could become the largest air defense transfer in Ukraine's history. No cost or delivery date has been confirmed, but the intent is unmistakable. Both leaders called it a strategic partnership for security and survival. For Ukraine, this could be a turning point. Its aging Soviet-era jets, MiG-29s and Su-27s, struggle against Russia's modern air power. The Gripens could change that. Longer range, greater precision, and full NATO system integration. Beyond the hardware, this sends a bold message to Moscow. Europe is done hesitating. NATO allies are now moving toward offensive capability transfers, something unthinkable a year ago. As Zelensky put it, this is not just a deal, it's a message. A message that Ukraine's allies are ready to help it fight from the skies, not just survive on the ground. For NATO, it's a turning point. For Sweden, a defining debut. For Ukraine, a new hope. In President Zelensky's words, "We are opening an entirely new and truly meaningful chapter in our relations." This wasn't just diplomacy. It was a declaration of strategic defense unity between Ukraine and Sweden. On X, Zelensky called the Gripens very cool planes, powerful aviation platforms for a wide range of tasks. Behind his words lay a message. The Gripen's multi-role power, air superiority, ground strikes, and electronic warfare is exactly what Ukraine has lacked. Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson called the agreement a step that strengthens not only Ukraine, but Sweden and Europe as a whole. He's right. This is more than aid. It's a redefinition of Europe's defense posture. For decades, Sweden was neutral. But after joining NATO in 2024, following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, it's no longer standing back. It's leading. Barely a year into membership, Sweden is showing that new allies can shape the alliance, not just seek protection. So when Zelensky says this is a new chapter, he means it. This marks the rise of a pan-European defense unity, built not on fear, but on shared purpose, shared threat, and shared strength. For Ukraine, fighter jets aren't just weapons, they're a means of survival. Since Russia's invasion in 2022, Ukraine's Air Force has fought with aging Soviet-era MiG-29s and Su-27s, relying on bravery where technology fell short. Against Russia's modern Su-35s, Su-34s, and advanced missile systems, Ukraine has been badly outmatched. Western support, older F-16s and French Mirages, helped morale, but came in small numbers and didn't shift air superiority. That's where Sweden's Gripen-E changes everything. Defense experts call it the perfect aircraft for Ukraine. Why? Because it's fast, flexible, and built for survival. The Gripen can launch from damaged runways or even highways, unlike Russian jets that rely on large, secure bases. This mobility could keep Ukraine's Air Force operational even under heavy attack. It's also cheap to maintain, easy to repair, and simple to rearm, ideal for a nation fighting a long, resource-draining war. The Gripen-E is a leap forward. Cutting-edge radar, electronic warfare tech, and long-range missiles give Ukrainian pilots something they've lacked: situational awareness and range. And the timing is powerful. The Gripen-E just entered Swedish service this month, ready for deployment in Europe's most intense air war since World War II. For Ukraine, this isn't just another plane. It's a chance to level the skies and fight as equals. If one jet defines modern air warfare, it's the Gripen-E. When Sweden unveiled it, they didn't call it an upgrade. They called it a new aircraft type, and for good reason. The Gripen-E features a redesigned radar, advanced sensors, AI-assisted systems, and the ability to use next-generation weapons most air forces haven't even fielded yet. Saab calls it the game changer. This jet doesn't just fly, it thinks. It can share sensor data across aircraft, letting one jet track targets while another strikes, real-time, coordinated warfare. With 10 weapon hardpoints, it can hit air and ground targets in one mission. Its AI-driven software constantly analyzes threats and adjusts tactics mid-flight, turning reaction time into survival. Despite its futuristic tech, the Gripen-E keeps a familiar layout, perfect for Ukrainian pilots who've already trained on earlier Gripen simulators and models. That means minimal transition time if Sweden sends them. The challenge is delivery time, about 3 years. That's why experts suggest sending older Gripen CD models now to give Ukraine immediate air power while the E-series is produced. It's a smart strategy. Capability today, dominance tomorrow. Because in modern warfare, timing matters as much as technology, and the Gripen-E could soon prove both over Ukraine's skies. For President Volodymyr Zelensky, at a press conference in Stockholm, standing beside Sweden's Prime Minister, he made it clear. For our army, Gripens are a priority. We hope to receive and start using them next year. This wasn't optimism, it was urgency. Every month without air dominance means more losses, more pressure, more risk for Ukraine. If the deal goes through and all 150 Gripen-E jets reach Ukraine, Kyiv could become the largest Gripen operator in the world. A nation once flying outdated Soviet jets could soon lead in modern air power, ahead of Brazil, Hungary, and even South Africa. Sweden's offer comes right after a setback. The U.S. refused to supply Tomahawk cruise missiles, citing their complexity and long training time. That decision exposed a painful truth. Western aid often comes with limits and delays. But Sweden's move feels different. It's practical, fast, and rooted in trust and training already underway. For Zelensky, the Gripen deal isn't just about jets. It's about independence, the ability to defend Ukraine's skies without waiting for permission. As the sun set over Stockholm, the symbolism was clear. A new Northern alliance is forming, driven not by fear, but by shared resolve to reshape Europe's future from the skies. If the Gripen deal succeeds, Ukraine won't just get new aircraft. It will gain something far more powerful. A fighting chance to reclaim its skies. Stay ahead of the headlines. Understand the politics, the power, and the technology shaping tomorrow's wars. Subscribe to SkyJet Wings.